opportunities, or did you think about getting into organized baseball again, or affiliated baseball, as it were? Of course, it's organized baseball, but affiliated baseball. Was there that opportunity along the way with all your success?
When you were younger, you used to think about it more often.
Mm-hmm.
Does it kind of creep in your mind now that you're sitting here at 53 years old? You still think about it. It would be silly not to say that you don't think about it, because you still have that kid in you and you want to walk into a major league stadium and be a big leaguer. Yeah, you still have those dreams. You think about it less because you are getting older. You're not that 30-year-old
Mm-hmm.
anymore. You're 53. And you do have more responsibilities, so I guess the thought goes through your mind less, but you still have those boy thoughts, I guess. And but you're very happy and very I guess very honored to be in the position that you're in also, because
Mm-hmm.
like when you're in Kansas City, you're very honored to have the position you're in, to work for the organization you're working for. I work for a great owner, a great person with Jay Hinrichs. I'm honored to be the manager of the Kansas City Monarchs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very humbling position I'm in right now. So it's kind of like a dream I'm in.
That's a pretty cool thing. You all the success in New Jersey. You're here now. How'd you get here?
Well, this is another story. There's a lot of stories behind this whole, and I'm very honored to be able to tell it. It goes back when I was in New Jersey. I never planned on leaving.
Right.
It was something, my family was very comfortable there. I loved ownership. They allowed me to do my job. We were winning. We always had a winning team. But it came to a point that there was contracts that like always were revolving.
Right.
And at this one point, I wasn't getting my revolving contract. So I thought it was like a little odd. So I went to my owner. It was the owner's son. It was a combination. Larry Hall and Floyd Hall were
Right.
the owners of the club. And we just lost in the championship, and went to my owner and I said, Larry, I said, I know, you're disappointed. I'm disappointed. And, I just want to see if, it's a little odd, because he normally
Right.
comes back to me pretty quick. No, Joe, we love you. And, but there was like a hesitation. Well,
Right.
long story short, now we find out later they were looking to sell the club. I didn't know this at the time. He did
Mm-hmm.
not want to tell me at the time.
Right.
So we find out in the back log that they were selling the club, and they were looking out for my best interest, that this was possibly going to happen and maybe it was time to move on. So there must have been some talks with Chris Brown
Mm-hmm.
and the T-Bones. So Chris approached me, and that's how it kind of happened.
Wow,
And then Larry mentioned that yes, they were looking to possibly sell the team, and I wasn't at that point ready to start with new ownership.
right. I can see that. Uh, how difficult a decision was it personally for you? Because I'm just doing some math here. This would have been your younger daughter is in the middle of high school years, or just starting maybe, and maybe your older one is just about concluding her high school years. What was that like?
Yeah, it was difficult. Again, needing like a lot of support from the family, and the family needing to really be behind it. But again, there was never really, as there never was, it was just like, well, wherever dad's going to be, that's going to be what it's going to be. So there was never like with the family, it was just, this is what we do. So, and that's how my girls were, and that's how they've always been through this whole process. So, um, that's how great they are. And so Chris, you know, and I came to agreements that we were going to go to Kansas City, and that's what we decided to do.
Certainly has worked out. You've won 3 championships in 5 years. Just in hearing the story here, and you just won a championship, obviously, with a walk-off victory. And it must be even that much more rewarding for you to finish off the championship runs 3 times when that didn't happen as often as you would have liked in New Jersey.
Yeah, it just, you look back on it and you see how close you were so many different times. Um, and similar success in regular seasons. Like
Right.
we just came off of 4 division titles in a row here in Kansas City. Similar success in Jersey. Um, but then when you're playing series, things happen. And um, and when you look at the mirror of the two, and how we've won here and how things didn't transpire sometimes in New Jersey, the small things and the balls up the middle that go through, and the wild pitch, and the ball that drops and things like that. It just, there's so minute things when you're playing very good teams, and it's just um, it's just it's just a lot of small things in such a small time frame. It's just it's just, you look at it and it's crazy, and you try to do your best, and you just feel fortunate when it's over that you're the one that comes out on top.
Well, you signed through 2024. You're still a pretty young man. You've had an incredible road here. We're nearing the conclusion, but not there yet. I just wanted to know what you would say are the biggest challenges in this form of baseball, or in independent baseball. It certainly is about winning, but it's also about entertainment. Some people come to the ballpark and they may not know whether you're a winning team or a losing team. Then you have great diehard fans who are really into the winning and losing. There's a lot of different dynamics at play, including the various levels of where a player is at. What are some of the challenges in that regard?
Yeah, well, going on the fan aspect, that's a crucial part of our organization, and we do have, and that's such a big point that you brought up. We do have that split fan
Right.
in Kansas City. Um, Playoff time, we had that 1,500, 2,000. We had a diehard fan base,
Mm-hmm.
and it was electrifying there. Probably more electrifying than we've ever had at our stadium. And then we have that fan base during the course of the season that is the casual baseball fan.
Mm-hmm.
We need both.
Right.
We need both. We need the casual baseball fan that likes to come out to a baseball game, that just enjoys baseball, and then we need that diehard baseball fan. Um, And we hope that we could connect to, the both of the fans,
Mm-hmm.
and we do preach to our players that our fans are extremely important to what we have going on and the connection that we have to have with the city and with our fans, and that's important to our players. And if you come out to one of our games, you see that interaction, and playoff time, you see it a little more because you have that little bit more interaction. You had fans on the field, and it was pretty special, what was going on. And it's really neat to see with the whole Monarch brand.
Mm-hmm.
When you go through our stadium and in the city, you see so much of the Monarch tradition walking around, and it's really kind of overwhelming sometimes, because in a normal city you just don't walk down the street and see your logo.
Right.
As a minor leaguer, if you're a big leaguer and you see a Royals hat, okay, yes. But when you see our logo plastered on a 10-year-old boy's head walking down the street, it does. It's a little bit chilling for you to see as a person at our level, and you see it quite often, and it's really it's neat for us as players and coaches and front office and things like that. So I think we do have that special connection with the fans, and our players realize that, and as the season goes on, they realize it even more.
Well, it's been quite a journey. I think we've heard you use the word grinder and grinding many, many times during the course of this conversation, and that's obviously one of the reasons you've had such unbelievable success. You mentioned 53 years old is certainly not old as far as baseball terms is concerned as a coach. Both in reflecting and looking ahead, you must have great feelings of pride and probably still some goals to achieve.
Yeah, I'm just very grateful. And just want to keep on making, I tell, I want to make everyone proud in the organization. And that's the other, the other thing, every day, making everyone proud in the front office, our players, making them proud of our organization. And I feel that's a responsibility, because, everyone's so proud right now of what we accomplished, what we're accomplishing. And on the player side of it, that's something that I'm responsible for. And so I take pride in that, and I take responsibility in that, and that's what I keep on working towards, is just to continue to make everyone proud of what we're trying to do on the baseball field, and the players being respectful and continuing to work hard and just be good players, good people, and good in the community.
We hope you enjoyed the latest Danny Klingscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Come back soon for something fresh and new. This podcast was made possible by our great sponsors like
the 23rd Street Brewery in Lawrence, great food, finely crafted beers, cocktails, and great sports viewing in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Join Matt Llewellyn and his great staff at 23rd and Castle in Lawrence.